And we're live. Hey everyone, I'm Marco. I'm one of the code mentors here at the Firehose Project, and I'll run you guys through the info session today. So we have plenty in store. I want to basically run you guys through our core curriculum, talk a little bit about the web applications that you guys are building, talk a little bit about what kind of skills you're getting out of that, and then also how we customize our curriculum and how we split it up for entrepreneurs, and then also people who want to land a job as a web developer. And then also next, I talk about the support system, right? How do one-on-one mentorship sessions work? What's up with the virtual office hours? And then how does our question and answer forum work? And what are these Agile team meetings that the people in the group project have, the job seekers? And then lastly, I want to answer a question that I get a lot, which is, what do I really be able to produce at the end of the project, the Firehose project? Once I graduate, what can I do? What am I capable of? So definitely want to give you guys that answer too. If you guys have any questions, right, feel free to either email me. All you guys should have my email, or go onto the Google Plus page. There's a little box. Type in your question, hit enter. I'm trying to get through all the questions at the end. And I already received several emails from some of you guys with questions. All right, how does the whole core curriculum, how does this all work, right? First of all, we're looking at the 15-week-long program. The first 2 weeks, we run you guys through what we call the Firehose intro, right? That's for you guys to work through your coding fundamentals. So a lot of you guys I know watching the info session right now are already going through that. For everyone else, I highly recommend you go through that application process, right? Go to thefirehoseproject.com, look at the top nav, find the get started link, hit that. Take a moment to fill out the application, and then we read all of those, and then we give you access to your account. You get straight beamed in, and you can start working on your coding fundamentals. You learn some Ruby, you learn some HTML, CSS, you get a nice website up on a server, right? Doing that will help us determine if you're a good fit for the full program, right? The 13 weeks of the core program. So once we accept you in the full program after the Firehose intro, right? What happens then? So first off, we want you to build a fully functional web application and push it live on the internet within about like 10 hours. Usually it takes people a few days to get that live. And that application will give you like that 360-degree view over everything that you'll be touching, right? You're using more of the Ruby language, using the Rails framework, using Git for version control, GitHub to share your code. Heroku, you push things up to a server so it's live, and you're using a good mobile-first design. So things are looking good on your cell phone, on your mobile phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. So wrapping that into a nice mobile-first responsive design. Well, that takes about, several days. Then next, we're going to build a Yelp clone. That's the next application that we want all of our students to build. And I think the most interesting thing that we're building a Yelp clone is the integration with the Google Map API, right? So we're writing the code to take an address, translate it into latitude and longitude coordinates, and passing those coordinates back into the Google Map API so we get a pin on the map. Next up, we need to add more features to that application, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't be a fully functional one. It wouldn't be feature rich. It wouldn't help anyone really if all we have was pins on the maps. So we obviously want star ratings, right? We want to rate places on our Yelp clone. Right? If I have a pizza place, I want to go in there, wow, great pizza, give it 5 stars. We want to have user comments, we want to have that interaction. And also what we want to do is get an automated email notification if somebody actually gives us a rating or leaves a comment on our place, to pull those people back onto the platform to get more user engagement going. So we're doing that too. For that, we usually integrate the SendGrid API to send automated so-called transactional emails out from the platform to users when some specific actions happen. Now, next up, we also build a little bit of a user dashboard so you can see things like what's the average star rating that you have, how many comments do you receive on your places, and obviously we have to have user authentication, right? Log in, log out registration. That usually takes people at Yelp clone, takes about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks to go through, depending on the student. Then next up, we're doing a test-driven development session, right? Test-driven development, TDD is really important. It's the industry standard, and that's writing automated software tests to make sure that all our features of a web application are working and nothing is broken. So we're doing that in the next module. And the way we're doing it is we're building an application, and test-driven development is basically writing a software test first, then building the feature, and then making sure everything is working, right? That is the bread and butter of every web developer. Doesn't matter if you want to build your own applications, if you want to find a job, you need to know how to do that. Otherwise, your application will be broken a lot, and nothing annoys users more than broken applications. So make sure you really have the test-driven development down. Next up, we build a two-sided marketplace, an educational platform. So that means on one side, we have instructors, on the other side, we have students, and students can come on the platform, log in, sign up, and they can purchase lessons, content that instructors have built, right? So when I say purchase, what that means, we integrate with another API called the Stripe API, so we can accept credit card payments on our platform directly, right? So there's money transactions going through our platform. That's a feature we just need because so many applications, we need to charge the user something to use them. So doing that is, and learning how to do that is really critical. Now, also what is happening is we have these different user roles, right? We have students on one side, instructors, depending on what they purchased, what they bought, we need to show them different content, right? If there's 10 available courses on our platform, and then one student buys 2 of them, that student has now full access to those courses, but not the other one. And tracking those relationships on a database level is really important because that's what is really the depth of applications, are these database relationships. What we're also introducing at that point is JavaScript, Jquery, and Ajax requests, right? What we're building is from scratch a drag and drop interface where our instructors can come on the platform and reorganize their lessons according to their plan by dragging and dropping the individual blocks on the screen and reorganizing the order, right? So rather than having a page refresh, we do that without, and having most of you guys are probably familiar with drag and drop interface, and using JavaScript and Jquery to build that from scratch. So we can improve the user experience at that moment for our instructors on our two-sided marketplace. And that's how we introduce JavaScript to you, so you can actually build something that makes sense and it improves the user experience and the user interface for our instructors. So you'll learn that when you need it with an actual project. Now, throughout these first 8 weeks what we're also going to do is run you through several real-world coding challenges so you guys learn how to write algorithms. That's really important, right? Can't understate how important it is to know how to write really good Ruby code and actually build something complex and complicated, like solving algorithms or building algorithms, right? For job seekers, that's crucial because that's how you're going to get tested on a technical interview. So not knowing that is really hard getting a job, or it's nearly impossible. So we're having algorithmic challenges that are used at places like PayPal, eBay, Yahoo, Flickr, all across the board, and we're running you through those so you'll learn how to do the algorithms. Now, we're at week 8, right? We're splitting up the curriculum. We have entrepreneurs on one side, and we have the job seekers on one side. Let's talk about the job seekers, people who want to join a technical team, right? They want to be a developer on a technical team. Let's talk about those first. So first of all, what we're doing with you guys is we're putting you on a group project, right? It's 4 students together, 4 or 5 students on a group project, and you're learning how to build an advanced web application together as a team. And why are we doing this? Because in the real world, the best applications, the best software is built by amazing teams. You want to know how to be part of an amazing team. Without you knowing how to work together with other developers and collaboratively code a web application, you're at a huge disadvantage when looking for a job because the hiring manager knows you're not a high impact employee from day one. So learning those skills and how to work with a team gives you a huge competitive advantage because you know I have impact from day one. I can contribute, I can write code, and I know how I'm in the workflow of an agile team and how I can actually make an impact there. So we're putting in a group project. What we're building is a chess game. Now, oftentimes people tell me, oh, come on, Mark, a chess game, that's just not that great. Well, it is because it's technically really hard to build, and to implement it's even more challenging, and it impresses senior hiring managers, right? And those are the people that you want to impress. So building something that's more advanced than, for example, Demi-clone or Yelp clone, right? These are relatively easy applications to build. You can learn how to do that really fast. But building something as complicated as a chess game, that is harder. And you need a lot of really good Ruby knowledge and algorithmic knowledge to do that, right? How do you determine that checkmate just happened? You need to run code for that in the background consistently to check after every single move. How do you move all the pieces along, right? How do you do it as a team? How do you write your tests to make sure nothing is broken, everything is working, right? Can I still move my queen, or did somebody just break that feature? That's what you learn in the group project. And then what you come out with is a solid skill set of how to work as a team have solid test coverage on your individual code that you contributed, and you have something to show for that work on the group project in a way that technical hiring managers and senior web developers can really appreciate it. Now, for the other side, right, we have the entrepreneurs. If you want to build and launch your own web application, right, what we're going to do is we take your idea, we wireframe every single screen out, and then break it into individual coding steps so you and your mentor can build and launch your own web application. That's what we do in the last 4 weeks as part of what we call a capstone project, right? So capstone project is for entrepreneurs. We'll build and launch your own web application idea, and then we have the group project for everyone who looks for a job. Now, let's talk about the support system, right? We have several things there. We have the Q&A forum, mentorship session, office hours, right? Agile team meetings. I think the most important is our Q&A forum. And then, even though everyone says like, oh, it's just a forum, I have a question, I put it in there. But it's what that forum enables us to do. So for example, it's Thursday night, you get stuck, error message, you can't help yourself, you go through everything that we taught you to troubleshoot your own application, it doesn't work, right? Take a screenshot of the error message, post it in the forum, within an hour or two, you have an answer, you're unstuck, you can move forward. What that allows us to do is, you can come to your mentorship sessions, right? One-on-one mentorship sessions, and you're error-free. You can focus on what matters, right? We don't have to use the mentorship session, which is used by so many other people just to troubleshoot and telling you there's a typo missing, a comma missing. Now, we can pair program with you and actually go on top and build a more complex algorithm that you've already built. Or we can refactor your code and show you how to improve it. Or we can write another software test. Or if you're an entrepreneur, we can integrate the social upvoting feature that you wanted to do. Or we can build another feature on top of what you already have, right? Or we can look into what's going on in the group project and help you make your code better for your chess game. We can do that in that session, and doing so, working together with a senior mentor, right? Like our mentors are from, again, Flickr, PayPal, Product Hunt, Techstars, Y Combinator companies. They're really, really good mentors, senior web developers with years of experience, and they take you under their wing. And then in that hour, they really push you far, get you to the next level, and then you can continue coding from there. So that's why the forum is so important, because you can take more advantage of the mentorship sessions. And then we have the office hours, right? Personally, I love office hours. It's a time when all of our students come together and you can learn from each other, right? Not only do you get to meet each other, but you also get to ask questions and get answers. And oftentimes, you may have not run into a challenge that another fellow student has, but now you see how you could have solved this challenge by participating in the office hours. And also, you can help each other out, right? We also have a Slack channel. The Slack channel is a chat channel where all the students are in, so you can help each other out there too and get to know each other. Especially during the group project, that's where a lot of communication happens as well. Now, we also have the Agile team meetings, right? These are weekly team meetings for the group project, where you come together with a mentor on top of your other mentorship sessions, and you make sure that everything is on track, you complete the features on time, you're not falling behind, you're not miscommunicating, and that's always like the Agile team meeting where you get together and make sure everything's on track. So that's the support system, right? The forum enables you to get help fast and come to the mentorship sessions without 20 errors stacked on top of each other. And with the office hours, we all come together, and in the last 4 weeks of your group project, when you're on the group project for the career seekers, you get that Agile team meeting on top of it together with a mentor. Now, I want to answer the question, which is, what can I really do when I graduate, right? So besides you finding a job, which plenty of our graduates are doing, landing really cool jobs, or having your own application launched, what you can really do is you have the power to create. If you have an idea and you want to see that idea live, right? You want to make it and build it and push it live and share it with people, you can do so, right? You can take the weekend, take a week, sit down, build it, code it, ship it live, and get user feedback and consistently improve that application and go a lot further than, for example, a Yelp clone, which is fairly simple to build because you have the skills to build advanced web applications after you graduate from our program. That's pretty much it, guys. So I'm gonna go through and see if I find some questions. A few of you guys already emailed me. Again, if you have any questions, either reach out via email or you go to the Google Plus page and put your question in there. So let's see what we have here. All right, what's the application process? Okay, that's a good question, right? I said that before. application process is you need to complete the Firehouse intro, the 2 weeks. You can do it faster if you want, no problem at all. Go through there and solve all the coding challenges. We will review your code and we will give you refactoring instructions. And then once you completed all this, we accept you in the full program. If you already have some coding background, they might be simple for you. Do me a favor, complete them anyways. We quickly review them and make sure you got your coding skills down. And during the full program, we ramp up really fast in terms of difficulty and challenges. So don't think because you look at the coding challenges that they're too easy for you, that's how we continue in the full program, ramp up really fast. So take the time, fill out the application, and then we look at that and we set up your account. And you can get started on the free 2-week pre-work. All right, what else do we have? What's the time commitment? Time commitment is 20 hours per week. That's what we want our students to commit to the program. So that means 20 hours, including your mentorship sessions, meetings, and coding, right? Obviously, if you have more time to commit, that's no problem at all. There's plenty of students who are going through the program at 40+ hours, and we ramp up accordingly and customize the curriculum so it works for them as well, right? We have people that, like the head of developer operations from Indiegogo, right? The company that raised, I don't know, like $56 million, and he has tons of developers working underneath him. He's going through our curriculum right now, and he's not bored. He's learning new things every single day, right? So that's the level where we're shooting for. Honestly, if you don't have that background, it works too. You can go through our curriculum and get all the skills that you need so we can get you either your own application launched or we get you a job. Let's see, what else do we have? What's the difference between us and competitors? Let's get that question. I always feel like I get this very similar questions. Good one. What's the difference between us? I think I'm looking at the competition and they just don't get people that far. They're missing really important concepts: algorithm, test-driven development, group project. And I mean, really working together with a team for 4 weeks is crucial to landing a job, right? So I think there's 3 things. First of all, a lot of competitors, like, they stop at like 40 miles an hour. They get you maybe to 40 miles, but we really get you to 120 miles an hour, right? We get you really far and really fast. So that also means like the depth of our curriculum, right? Algorithm, test-driven development, that's huge, right? You learning how to do that. And then the building an advanced web application where you put together your skills off the Rails framework and algorithms and you pack it together in an app. And that's that chess game. And that is really challenging to do. And that actually helps us get a lot of top-notch mentors because they're really intrigued by that challenge and helping students get to that level because they see so many people stopping at the 40 miles, which is building a Yelp clone. It doesn't go any further. And we're getting them a lot further. And that's why we have so many good mentors, because they really think this is the right way of teaching and this is the right way going forward. That's what one of the core reasons is, like that algorithmic knowledge, building advanced web application, combining that with the Rails framework. That's really one of the core differentiators. The next one is the group project, right? Knowing how to do that, I can't underestimate that. Like everyone will test you in a job interview. They want to see, they won't even let you get to the technical interview if you haven't had algorithmic background and a group project background. It's really hard differentiating yourself. So having that with us, a full 4 weeks where you work together with a group, and you can work on that after you graduate as well, which a lot of our teams are doing. So that's really something that helps you land that job because you have real experience that trends directly to the real world from the program. So group project, really important. And last, I think it's the mentors, right? I just don't see another place that has that quality of mentors, which experience, as I said again, Flickr, Bitly, PayPal, Product Hunt, Teespring, Techstars, VP of Engineering. These are associate professors of computer science that mentor our students. You don't get that anyplace, right? And we're turning a lot of mentors away. And what scares me is that we're turning a lot of mentors away that actually mentor at some of the other online coding bootcamps, in-person coding bootcamps, because they're not good enough. They're not cutting it. They're not being able to solve the coding challenges that our students are able to solve after 12 weeks, but they're employed at other coding bootcamps. So we're turning a lot away. So really particular of finding the right mentors for you guys. So let's see, what else do we have? Why is a group project so important? I think I talked about that already, right? Competitive advantage. Best software is built by amazing teams. You want to know how to be part of such an amazing team. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's look over here. Do we get any questions here? Chris Dickens, in your opinion, do you have to be good at math to be good at coding? I mean, Chris, I can talk about that for a long time, right? Do you have to be good at math? I don't think you have to be necessarily good at math, right? You need to be able to recognize patterns and you need to be able to follow. I think most of all it's following instructions in detail, right? Because if you miss small things, typos, those are the things that trip you up, right? But start somewhere, learn something, right? We just had one of our posts featured on the Huffington Post, right? When the heck did learning to code become so cool? Look up that post, right? Google the theFirehoseProject, Huffington Post, you find that one, read that one, right? It really tells you what matters or not. Being good at math probably doesn't matter that much. There's a lot of other things that are way more important before we get to that level. Okay, then Lyle, I hope I pronounced your name right. What % of students are accepted? That's a tough metric to give you because it depends how you're looking at it, right? So we don't accept, first of all, not everyone finishes the pre-work because they realize this is actually not for them, coding, right? They're all fired up and they go through and realize, oh man, this is a lot harder than I thought, so they're giving up, right? So we can't accept those people. Now, of everyone that completes the coding challenge, how many people do we accept there? Almost accept everyone who completes all of our coding challenges and follows our refactor instructions. So if you have a bug in your code, we ask you to refactor, you can't do that, we won't accept you, right? But most people try really hard to get there and actually refactor their code. So I don't really have a good answer for you, the percentage of students that are accepted, but let's give you a ballpark figure. We have hundreds of people going through our pre-work every single week. And so out of those, we only accept a very, very small fraction because most people actually cannot solve the coding challenges to come. You already have a leg up against a lot of other people. And Chris, there's another question. All right, Chris, homework for you, right? Asking me that questions tells me you may have not done your homework perfectly. So go to our website and top nav, you find the coding bootcamp. Click on that. I think go to chapter 6. We talk about metrics that matter and metrics that don't matter. The percentage of graduates that find jobs means nothing because I can fudge that statistic. And unfortunately, everyone fudges that statistic like crazy. Unpaid internships, like a freelancing contract was counted as jobs. Everything goes there. So we don't track that number because it doesn't mean anything. What matters is what's the income that these students are getting, and that we say advise all our students do not accept a job offer that is below $65,000 a year as a junior web developer. Now, I don't ask our students how much do you make, right? I just ask, are you happy? And then usually you get a big smile and they're like, oh yeah, awesome, and they give me the thumbs back, right? So that's the absolute minimum. Obviously in different markets like New York, Boston, San Francisco, that number is going to be higher, but that's what we tell students. I hope I answered those, but again, go and read the Coding Bootcamp guide, and that will help you a lot to understand what actually matters and what doesn't matter. All right, let's see what else we have. But great questions. Keep asking them, guys. I have a few more in my email inbox. This is awesome. While I do this, I have people who I know are in the info session. They're submitting coding challenges to the Firehouse intro right now. So they're like, oh yeah, I can listen to Marco and I code better. That's awesome. So keep submitting those coding challenge solutions for the Firehouse intro for the pre-work, and just got a review on. That's awesome. I'll review that in a moment. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, what are some of your graduates are doing now, right? That's always a good question. I get that a lot. So our graduates are obviously entrepreneurs, and some are, and then finding jobs, right? Just want to make sure I have you guys on the right screen. Give me a second here. Here we go. So let's see. There's Erin in New York City, right? She was working as a receptionist, manning the front desk at a company, at an advertising agency in New York City. And then she came out into our program. She started out part-time, right? She put in about the 20 hours per week, and then after several weeks, she really realized, oh man, this is really for me. I really like this. So she quit her job, joined us full-time, going through the rest of the program, and now she works at Artsy, mapping the genome of art, right? If you know Pandora, the music recommendation engine or the online music radio, they map the genome of music, and Artsy does map the genome of art, right? They raised 25 million from top VCs. They're based in New York, and she's on a team that maps the genome of art, and she has an art history background, and now she's working there on a technical team. That's awesome for her, right? She found that. And there's Angel out in Los Angeles, and he was selling used cars of a parking lot, and now he's one of the lead developers at a company called Sensei that does, I don't want to mess this up, they're doing messaging. They're having a messaging platform that people can sign up and use their service for better messaging with their customers. I believe that's it. But look it up. It's also text messaging as well. Sensei.it, I think it is. He works there. Then we have Ilya, right? He was from Europe, and he now has a job at Enernoc. He builds, Enernoc is a huge, I think it's publicly traded company with headquarters, I think here in Boston, but they also have headquarters in Europe. And he builds energy monitoring dashboard as a Rails developer. Then there's Ben, who works here at a company as a Rails engineer, software engineer. Who else do we have? And one of our students, she works now for Madison Square Garden and makes sure the web applications for all the games go through for ESPN are up and running, right? These are the kind of jobs that our students are getting, and they're pretty awesome. They're pretty having a huge impact. And there's the Intrapreneurs, right? Stephen Fung built his web application out, and he's now, when last talked to him, has like several hundred users on it that are paying customers. And what he built was an on-demand delivery app like Uber for weed, right? So you ordering your 1/8 of an ounce or whatever you do, and you see the car driving on the map to your location. You walk down, grab your bag, you're good to go. Payment has already been handled by the platform. So he built that, and he's super happy doing that out in Sacramento. That's a good overview of what our students are doing, right? They're finding jobs at really amazing teams, or they launch their own web applications. All right, let's see, what else do we have? All right, I think that's pretty much it. I think Chris, Lyle, I got your questions. Got those questions there. Yeah, I think that's it. If I don't get any more questions, I'm going to go review some coding submissions that I just got. Everyone else, if you're not on the pre-work right now, go in there. Go to theFirehoseProject.com. And up for the pre-work, the Firehose intro, right? Look in the top nav, say get started. Take some time to fill out the application. You can get started coding with us tonight. If you're fast enough, I'll make sure I set up your account, or one of our mentors does, and you're good to go. Other than that, thanks so much for coming. Thumbs up, stay awesome, guys, and I hope to code with you soon. Bye.